think so. Let me know if the mic's not being great. Cat hair, alert. Alright, another Sunday coming on up, baby. Oh, come on. I need help with my lineup. So please participate in the poll. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. And we're off. Alright, still waiting on inactives. Usually they're in about a half hour ago. The Texans report came through. That's the only one I've seen so far. Everybody's being slow with probably watching the old Toy Story feed, which is interesting. I wouldn't actually call it bad. Be a cool way to get your kids into football, basically. Just need some work, but it's a cool watch. Alright, Salvon Ahmed is suiting up today. And we know that Deshaun Watson will not be playing, which means DTR will be playing. I have adjusted my rankings like so. CC, what's up, baby? Ravens D or Bengals D, and Jerome Ford or Dameon Pierce. Alright. Ravens D, Bengals D. Let me think. Let me look. Let me think about that one. Because they're playing each other, right? No. Cincinnati plays Tennessee. So DTR is a running quarterback, which I think gives him, a chance to not just completely suck here. Anything like that. Baltimore secondary kind of sucks, which is where you'd want to take advantage of DTR. I don't know that they'll be able to. Whereas we know that Tennessee's offense kind of sucks. Gosh. Gersh. Let me see if... There's a guy's rankings who does defensive rankings that I really like. Let's see what he says if he has those up. Jerome Ford, Dameon Pierce. I think I have Ford ranked higher, right? Ravens. I was leaning Ravens. Reluctantly. The numbers... Oh, it's close. Numbers are in Ravens' favor here. If you have a gut feeling, I would just go with that. But my mind says Cincinnati. My gut's actually going Ravens on that. So I guess that's where I'm going to go for you. I'm going to say Ravens and hope that DTR makes a few mistakes or sucks or something. Just a little bit concerned that he can run well. And I have Jerome Ford higher, don't I? I think it's Jerome Ford. I don't love it. It's hard to love Dameon Pierce, too. Pittsburgh run D hasn't been great, but could be a bit of a mirage. CC, if you want to go with Dameon Pierce, I don't hate it. So if you go Ravens defense, then you're kind of betting against Jerome Ford to a certain extent, at least for like a big day without a turnover. So if you go Ravens D, it might make just a sliver bit more sense to go with Dameon Pierce. See, I'm gonna go Ravens D and Dameon Pierce and go like this. It's a toughie. A couple of toughies, but that's my route. How are there no inact? I don't get this. 0-3. CC. Should have been here this morning, CC. It was popping. I opened up on a half hour before the morning game and came on here. Dunchiche. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry. Pick 2. Half PPR. Thank you for that. Cooper. Cup. No. Amari Cooper. Kyren Williams. Or Puka Nacua. So I'm going to go Puka Nacua. And Kyren Williams. Yeah. I have them both pretty well ranked. So I'm going Puka and Kyren. Going up against Indianapolis, you would think that they should be able to move the ball and score and whatnot. So going that route, I don't really... DTR's biggest asset, at least should be, coming into the NFT's feet. So, I don't think you have to not start Amari Cooper, but he's a much riskier start now than he was before, and not as good. Don Chichi. All right, thank you. Well, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Good luck this week. Hope it works out for you. If nothing else, you give yourself a higher floor by going with those two in a fairly good matchup against Indianapolis. Get yourself a high floor. Are we just not releasing inactives today? Oh, by the way, if you guys weren't able to watch the on Disney Plus, the Disney toy telecast, there was a funny moment that Booger McFarlane made about Aaron Rodgers, because they have the aliens in Toy Story 2 or Toy Story, and they're doing a bit with a bunch of the UFOs flying over the field, and then Booger's like, I wonder if Aaron Rodgers has seen these UFOs. Wouldn't be the first time. And then, I missed this. Apparently, not too long later, he said he's doing the ayahuasca. I don't know how it's pronounced. Ayahuasca. The drug. 1,000 kids are now asking their parents what ayahuasca is, right? Just say it's fun mushrooms. I don't think it's actually mushrooms, but, same idea. Yeah, you must have forgot he was on a broadcast there for kids for a moment. All right, Celtics acquired Drew Holiday from the Trailblazers. So that's not NFL-related news. Early inactives, there must have not been any surprises from the early inactives here. Show me. All right, a couple minutes ago, so Justice Hill, active. Odell Beckham Jr. out. Rashad Bateman out. We know these. Jonathan Mingo is officially out. I suppose I could add him onto that list. Jay Mingo. Miles Sanders is officially active. Chase Claypool inactive. We know that. Irv Smith out. David Njoku is active. We know that. Have that announced that. Deshaun Watson inactive. We know. Tyler Higbee is officially active. Salvin Ahmed. Derek Carr officially active. That's all. So yeah, everything went to plan. No surprises for the actives and inactives today. That's good. Makes life easier for everyone. Ramez, crap choices, but Carr or DTR in San Francisco? Guessing you just reminded me that in a SF. Super. I'm trying to think of the formats. I'm like, I know that's a format. No, that's fine. I should have been able to figure that one out. Thank you very much, though. Okay, so your QB2. I just ranked them this. Let me see what I ended up doing between those two. I have them back to back in my rankings. Have Derek Carr a spot higher. Let me just look at the matchup on them real quick. I have matchup ratings I just need a quick look for. Not there. Wait. Oh, you know what? I have them right here. Quarterback. So in the case of New Orleans, of course I didn't shoot. Alright, in the event of New Orleans, I gotta format this. Kind of a cold matchup, and then Cleveland. You know, if you're willing to take a risk on DTR, factors do work a little bit more in favor of him having a bigger quarterback game than Derek Carr. Of course, that's like Vegas lines, which probably just changed with DTR. It's so close. I have Derek Carr ranked one spot ahead of him. I think that's what I would do. I would just go with Derek Carr. I don't want to mess with Thompson. But if you want to take a risk, he's supposed to be good at running. Could really surprise the defense and give you a bigger day than Derek Carr. Derek Carr is your safer choice for so many reasons. So, that's what I would do. Alright, we'll close that up. I hope that works, Ramez. And appreciate the patience looking for that, but I wanted to see if there's a big difference in the matchup here. The matchup. So if anybody has Ramondre Stevenson, just so you're knowledgeable, I didn't really act upon it at all, but Ezekiel Elliott is supposed to get the starting reps. Or some starting reps. I think literally to start the game. I don't know that I took it to mean a whole lot else this week. But wasn't really expecting Ramondre's value to come from being on the ground anyways. And I would expect worst case scenario. He's just the third down back, the 2-minute back, which is pretty valuable. And really the only place that he puts up any fantasy points anyways. So that's why I didn't really react to it. What are you guys saying? You're saying Brandon Ayuk so far on that poll. Keep voting on that poll. I have Lockett in, and I was thinking of leaning towards Ayuk all week, especially with Debo out. But Debo's playing. Good thing about quarterback leftovers is a lot of the times they're fine and will outscore some of the other stuff. I mean, there's only like 3 to 5 quarterbacks a week that absolutely suck. So you got a good shot at being fine. The AC joint thing scares me a little bit for Carr, but the fact that he's playing 1 week later, like obviously it wasn't serious. So you gotta hope that the team's not being stupid with it and reckless. And you're welcome. Thank you. We got 45 minutes coming up until kickoff. Let's see. How are we doing with this game here? 14 seconds left, and Jacksonville's walking. They're shaking hands. So Jacksonville won 23-7 in the London game. Let's see how. I assume they just were able to run down the clock. Because last I saw, Atlanta was trying to score, so they must have went 4 and out on that drive. Yeah, ended on downs. Then Jacksonville took off a bunch of time. ETN, Lawrence, ETN, Trevor. To Ingram. So my Ingram, I had him really high this week. Did pretty good. 7 for 59. Take that. Just didn't get in the end zone. Mr. Josh. Hello, Mr. Josh. Come with Jordan Addison or DJ Moore. I don't think I care if that's full PPR or half PPR. I gotta look. How do I have them ranked? I'm pretty sure I have. Okay, I was thinking I had Jordan Addison one spot, so I have them back to back. Let me give you how I have them ranked is going to be DJ Moore over Jordan Addison, but I might be able to give you just a little bit more insight if you're looking for like ceiling floor type of play. So if you want to stick around, full PPR, all right. As far as how they project, I think I'm gonna need to. I need to look on here. Wrong sheet. Don't update. Close it. Alright, so for Addison, I have him projected for 11.4 points, with a floor of about 4.5 points, a ceiling about 19.5, expected range. Let's see, matchup not that good. Expected range like 8 to 12 points, 7 to 12 points, 7.5 to 11.5 technically. Compared to, I bet you DJ Moore has got a lower floor. Yeah, so DJ Moore, slightly higher ceiling, matchups better for him, and expected range goes a little bit higher, but a lower floor. Yeah, so DJ Moore's got a lower floor, but a higher ceiling, whereas Jordan Addison's just a little bit more safe for you. But I have DJ Moore ranked one spot higher. My projections like Jordan Addison by 1.5 points more. So your call on that, really. Basically, what do you want? A safer play or a ceiling shot? Is kind of, I think, what it comes down to. But Jordan Addison's going to be slightly safer. And DJ Moore could give you a ceiling. And given the fact that it's full PPR, I would say Jordan Addison's a lot safer than DJ Moore. One more question. Swift or, oh my gosh, DJM? How am I? I'm blanking. Where are you? I'm sure I can figure it out. Swift, Devontae Achan, not Achan. It's gonna be not DK Metcalf You didn't mean to say DKM, did you? Devonta Adams. No. DJ Moore. Duh. I figured it out. Thanks for not giving it up. So Jordan Addison and then Swift, or I guess Swift. He seems so safe right now. I figured it out. Should have known. I was just thinking another running back at first. I'd go Swift. I'm ranked quite high. I like him quite a bit. He's just early on in the offseason, I had him ranked really, really high for my running backs for drafting. Because I just thought he's such a beautiful match for this system. And it sure has looked like that through 2 weeks. And DJ Moore is just so big play reliant, and they just haven't been hitting on those for the most part. At this point, you kind of got to see it. But this is a good week for him. Still, Swift. Washington doesn't scare me. So I hope that works for you. Jordan Addison, Swift over DJ Moore. I'll remember that and either be happy with myself or upset with myself today. I hate when I give wrong advice. Incorrect advice. Let's make sure there are no. Don't copy and trademark that. Copyright. Last question. Is Raheem Mostert a must start? Essentially, they're supposed to give Devon A. Chan. I'm going to reteach myself how to say his name. A bigger workload. I don't know how much that really eats into Raheem Mostert's workload. Like last week isn't, I don't think, a good sample of what he had. A pretty good sized workload last week. Like I don't think it's bigger than that. That had to do with how the game went, and they didn't have any other running backs to throw in besides those two. So, I mean, yeah. Especially for running backs. Like if you had two really good running backs and a flex spot, like then I could start to think about maybe not playing him. But going up against Buffalo, it's such a high upside matchup. And as far as their defense goes, they haven't played against much. You saw week 1, Breece Hall just break right through that defensive front. So I think they're better. They work better when they're playing against the pass than the rush. Oh, Trevor, you got to drop that in there. So Kyle Pitts once again didn't do much, right? It's Jonnu Smith again today. We got ETN, 55, not efficient at all against Atlanta. Kirk got a lot of passes. Ridley got pretty much shut up, but at least he got the touchdown with a decent little chunk of yards on 2 catches. Ingram, a lot of work. ETN, not much. ETN didn't have a great game. Then, yeah, Jonnu Smith, 6 of 6 for 95. Drake London, 3 for 28, got the touchdown at least for you. Kyle Pitts, 2 for 21. Who would have thunk Jonnu Smith would be the tight end to own? Out of those two, at least, over the first 4 weeks of the year. What a shame. We're closing up on a half hour into kickoff here. No new news. New news. Really to report upon. You could get 25% off on the BK app because football. So there's that. The Bears are looking to trade Chase Claypool, asking for a 5th or 6th round pick in return. GM Ryan Poles has been actively calling teams he believes are in the market for a receiver. Claypool was acquired via trade from the Steelers last season. Wow. I mean, I think you could get a pick swap and him 7th and a 6th. The fact that you're trying to actively market a guy at a steep discount compared to what you just tried paying for or did pay for him less than a year ago, not going to make teams really want to trade for him, I don't think. Well, Austin Eckler tweets this picture of himself an hour ago. What's this? Is Austin Eckler ruled out yet? He's doubtful. What's the picture? Might have to put this up. I don't know. Austin Eckler could be trying to send signals. Let me. There it is. There's the tweet from Austin Eckler earlier today. What does it mean? He's huge into fantasy football, so I would think that it means he might be a go. So if you're relying on Josh Kelly and you don't have any other options, later games, tomorrow, be careful. There we go. Get the rankings back up here. And a little lightning bolt on top of that, by the way. Suiting up? Is that what he's trying to say? That's terrible. If he doesn't play, that's terrible. Don Chichi. Yeah, I believe Chase came out and said it was the coach's fault for not utilizing their wide receivers' abilities. I did hear, I don't think I heard who. I feel like I heard the tail end of somebody talking about that. I think it's a lot of. Yeah, the coaches have not schemed up a very good offensive plan. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But I think there's a lot of reasons why things haven't worked. And I don't think Chase has helped with that at all. All right, so for now, I'm just going to put Brandon Ayuk in, and we'll see if that's this poll goes any other way. But it is 5 for 5 votes in favor of Ayuk. So I'm going to assume, just based on the numbers here, that's going to end up being the route we go. And I'll trust you. I'll trust y'all. Gonna go Ayuk. Just, don't screw me on this, folks. I'm gonna go Ayuk over Lockett. We shall see. I have concerns for both of their upsides. And I think they both have a good ceiling, though. And I need all of the ceiling I can get this week. My opponent's just he's got a mad dash of good lineups coming against me. Good matchups against me this week. It's not looking good. It's like the first time that the computers have projected me to be not win the matchup since last season. Because my last year's team was amazing. And this year, I think I've at least had a 51% chance. or more in each game. So it's weird for me to see a 46% chance to win under my name. No news. Is CJ Stroud the best quarterback of the last 5 years? I mean, rookie quarterback. I would say it's probably too early to say about that. Claypool being chopped. We know. All right. Let's get the fantasy show up on here. Kobe Myers. Ugh. Jacoby's been a headache to rank. We've got average ranking of 20.1 with... I don't get that. How could you still have Jacoby Myers that high when he's going to have Aiden O'Connell throwing to him with, who knows how that goes. It's a good matchup. But just don't know. So the Celtics landed Drew Holiday. What a turn of events. Going from the Bucks to the Celtics. I don't like that. But I do like having Damian Lillard for the Bucks. Any basketball fans in here? Just keep updating. Slow news days. Bum 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 bum. CC. Well, they got rid of Robert Williams for that. Is he still young? I don't really know how good of a year he had or did not have last season. Brogdon? Robert Williams. That seems like a couple of pieces that they got. Yeah, he's still pretty young. Yeah, that's a pretty good trade. They did get rid of a couple of good depth pieces. And the one thing I felt with Boston that's really been tough with them is no matter how banged up they were over the past few years or just their second unit, like it was still studly usually compared to other teams. Backups and bench guys. I guess I don't even know how Malcolm Brogdon's been since he left. Has he been good relieving off of the bench since he left the Bucks? A lot of Bucks players involved in that, or ex-Bucks players. And picks. What did they get for picks? Like 3 second rounders as well? No, gotta be better than that. 2029 unprotected Boston first to the Blazers. All right. And Golden State 2024 first. Blue Prey. Rashad White or Roshan PPR. It's Rashad White still. Tough to trust Roshan right now. It's a good week for him, but I still think that that's such a big stretch. And gotta hope that maybe with Mike Evans potentially getting shut down in this game, that could open things up for Rashad White to have even more of a role in the receiving work. So I gotta go Rashad White over Roshan. If you're looking for an absolute ceiling shot and like you think it's a long shot that you're gonna win this week, then I could see playing Roshan and just hoping for something crazy to happen. But I think the odds are that Rashad White outscores Roshan. Elijah, start Puka or Ayuk? It's Puka. It would, even if there was no Debo, it might be Puka. Maybe not quite, but with Debo playing, there's just chances that Ayuk will not do anything this week. They're a zone defense, which usually is where Debo has his better games. Ayuk tends to do a little better against the man defenses, usually. So, I go with Puka this week. And hope it doesn't bite you in the butt. I'll be playing them both, so at least you get the decision of which one to sit. Unless y'all start voting differently, but we're still at 5 votes for Ayuk over Tyler Lockett for my lineup. Thank you very much, Blue Prey and Elijah, for coming on in here and asking your questions. I hope that I hope my advice works and helps you win. Just refreshing, looking for any kind of crazy news updates coming out. Broncos haven't won a road game in the United States since November 7, 2021 at Dallas. Bears have lost 13 straight games, including 8 straight at home, both the longest streaks in franchise history that dates back to 1920. And so I'm guessing Chicago's at home. And so one of those streaks will end. Okay. And that's the fear with that game. Is it just a matchup of two doofuses that can't get it right and just a bad game overall? Doesn't matter about the matchups? That's my concern for Roshan there. My biggest concern. Despite the matchup, they both suck. Coming off his 203 rushing yards, in which he averaged 11.3 yards per attempt versus Denver, Dolphins rookie running back has earned an increased workload, and the team is expected to try to use him more. Yeah, but more than what? We don't know what his baseline is. ESPN broadcast very casually mentioned that the team knows Kyle Pitts is operating at well under 100% coming back from his knee injury last year. Yeah, well, I wish I bought into that a little bit more preseason. Pre-draft. Jaguars target shares. Calvin Ridley. Wow. What? In week 1. Oh, last 3 games, Calvin Ridley 14.5, Kirk 29.7. Much different than in week 1, and we'll see what happens when Zay Jones comes back, what that does to target shares. So Calvin Ridley week 1 had a 34% target share, Christian Kirk 9. Since then, in the following 3 games, Christian Kirk has averaged 29.7 and Calvin Ridley 14.5. Bit of a difference. And that's why I still liked Christian Kirk preseason. But still don't know when Zay Jones returns, what that does to things. make sure. I gotta check my DFS lineups, making sure I didn't put anybody in. Let's see. That's been ruled out since. Good. And good. Tell you what, I just need to start these streams at about 9 in the morning from now on. Get 10 times the people. I was trying to look at that Drew Holiday trade. So they got, oh, here it is. Drew Holiday's brief time. Portland reportedly traded the guard to Boston from Brogdon, Robert Williams, and 2024 Golden State Warriors first. 2029 unprotected Boston first goes to the Blazers then. Oh, okay, so they swapped. Kind of swap first and then 2 players for 1 player? Traded Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, 2024 Golden State Warriors first. And 2029 unprotected Boston to the Blazers. Yeah, so all 4 of them. That makes sense. All right. So then so what's the Boston Celtics roster look like then? Brogdon gone, $22.5 million man. Jaylen Brown still going to be there. Sam Hauser. I don't know if he's doing anything. Drew Holiday, Al Horford still kicking. Luke Cornett. Still going to have Peyton Pritchard. Jason Tatum, Derek White still there. Robert Williams gone. So they lost. Yeah, they're still a better team with Drew. That's scary. They're a smaller team though without Drew now, or after that trade now. I feel like, unless one of those other guys that I don't really know about steps up. All right, we got 15 minutes going until kickoff. And here we go. We've got a report. Vikings to ride hot hand. I feel like we kind of knew this. At running back in week 4, Cam Akers working in with first team offense and warm-ups Sunday. So I just feel like the upside of running backs are such a pain sometimes. Like the running backs fall off by the time you get to Miles Sanders. After that, it's already starting to get into big question mark territory. What would you guys do if you had Alexander Madison? Would you still play him? Hope. The thing is, if they're riding the hot hand, if Madison gets the first go at it, like, he should be able to be productive in this matchup and give no reason to lose the job this week. But we'll see. Rams, Alaric Jackson will not play. Fowler Kamara is bracing for a full workload. There we go. So if you've got Alvin Kamara, somebody asked me a question about Alvin Kamara earlier today. I hope they see that. That's good news. That's something that makes you want to move Kamara up further. Can't really move him up much more, but there we go. Little news. We'll just keep updating that. I'm doing a commercial right now for bakeware and cookware and advertising the non-stickness of a cookie sheet, and they like just let all the cookies fall off of it. I don't think you want to do that. Eggs just sliding around in the pan. Alright, a little update on the news. Anything coming through? And a whole 3 minutes later? Nope. Christian Rodriguez, thank you for the question. Browns D or Steelers D? Browns D. Better D. They are going up against a better opponent, but Browns defense, they're so good. I can't imagine not playing them. I was just looking to see who the Steelers are going up against. I know it's a good matchup. Yeah, Houston. I mean, they could frustrate CJ Stroud and end up with a good day, but I'm just going to go with the more talented defense who might have a shot to bottle up Baltimore a fair bit. But really, you're looking for that pick six. And I see they're on equal grounds there, so I'll take the better defense. Thank you, Christian Rodriguez, for the question. I hope that works out. I know it's kind of close, but Browns defense. There's Studley. And then I would personally drop Steelers D and get like a backup running back or something like that. Or Rashee Rice, like a wide receiver if you need help with your wide receivers, or if they're thin, have a few disappointing guys, and just take a flyer type of options / a backup running back flyer in case there's an injury to him. Starter. In fact, if you're still around, just looking up Cleveland's coming up matchups just to make sure they don't face like Miami next week. Oh, they do have the 49ers next week, so that's not great. But then it's Indianapolis, Seattle, Cardinals. All right, you could hold on to 2 defenses for next week. All right, we got 9 minutes until kickoff, folks. It's still no new news. Let's see what the populace of the fantasy football subreddit has to say about the Vikings riding the hot hand. This kills any ounce of confidence I had left in Madison. Well, that left like a week ago. Vikings to ride lukewarm hand in week 4. Kind of figured this would happen, honestly. Yeah, I think that's just pooped my pants in a Waffle House. Madison owner. Obviously a meme. Please, I think one more good week of Madison and I can trade him. Maybe. Madison or Ramondre, who do I start? I'm confused. Madison. Take the good matchup. Hope he gets the hot hand. Decided between Kelly or Madison. Oh. I'd still go Madtown on that. What about bracing for a full workload from Kamara? Is Roto World learned not to say bracing for a full load, so good on them. My pants are bracing for a full workload. It's the top comment, of course. You heard it, folks. Full load. God. Could read the next one, won't. Lights, Kamara, action. Just all jokes. No real inputs. All right, Brandon Ayuk is in my lineup. We're just gonna close down that poll. I think that's official. Let me make sure that I actually did that. And we'll see if any last minute questions come on through. CC, if you got a second, you should send your team. What caused you to go 0-3 so far this season? I gotta see it. And if you don't have a second, that's fine. Lump Nub. That's such a great name, Lump Nubs. Gabe Davis or Hollywood full PPR? So, I'm sorry, let's see how I have that ranked. I feel like I have Gabe Davis probably higher, which is going to cause, some issues between him and Hollywood for the full PPR. You know what? Give me a half second. I can give you a little bit more input on that. So with Gabe Davis, you got kind of a mediocre matchup, but I would say a high upside matchup. 20-point ceiling, really low floor kind of guy. That's obvious stuff. But Marquise Brown's probably going to be the exact opposite. Still a pretty low floor in this matchup. A little bit better potential upside. Worse ceiling. So my projections are saying Marquise Brown. The numbers are telling me Marquise Brown lump. Personally, I just got a good feeling about Gabe Davis this week. So I would play Gabe Davis. That's how I do have it ranked. I can only imagine if my numbers are half PPR, I can only imagine if this was full point per reception, that things would look, all the better. They're within a 0.1 point for my projections. But, and they have the same upper range, but that would all just go up a little bit more for Marquise Brown. So Marquise Brown's your, by the numbers, go, call, play. But given the matchup and everything, I really like Gabe Davis this week, so that's what I would do myself. Just a little bit riskier. You might end up with 2 points or something with Gabe Davis. Probably not going to happen with Hollywood. It is a tough matchup. Mega Brick, thanks for coming on through. Thanks for the question. Lump Nubs. Mega Brick, full PPR, start 3. Tutu Atwell, Chris Godwin, Jalen Waddle, Joshua Palmer, T. Higgins. I'm going to go Waddle all day, T. Higgins, yes, and Tutu Atwell, I think. See if that matches up with how I have them ranked. And this is full PPR, so that doesn't hurt anybody that doesn't change too much of my thoughts with that group on anyone specifically. So Jalen Waddle is the easy start for me. Then T. Higgins, I think you still got to trust it. It's a really, really good matchup, and it looked in the second half last week like Joe Burrow was kind of getting into a groove. The offense was getting into a groove. Hope that continues. You're welcome, Christian Rodriguez, by the way. Thanks for coming through. And Tutu Atwell, I do have up, it looks like next in my rankings, still ahead of Chris Godwin by a little ways. What I will say for Chris Godwin, especially for full PPR purposes here, if you wanted to get him into your lineup, where he finds success today is where Mike Evans gets shut down by Marshawn Lattimore, which has happened in the past several times. I think most of us know the history between those two. And so if that happens, Chris Godwin could be the guy to pick up the slack. It could be a mix of people or something like that. Josh Palmer, it's a decent situation and all. I just don't love I just don't think he's talented as any. Maybe he's as talented as Tutu, but so far this season, Tutu's looked better in a 3-game stretch than I think any 3-game stretch for Josh Palmer. Josh Palmer does have his games, but overall, I think he's pretty hit or miss. So, Tutu, Waddle, Higgins, Tutu, Godwin would be the one out of him and Josh Palmer that I would play over Tutu if you wanted to go that route. So thank you very much, Mega Brick. I hope that helps you out. We got 2 minutes before kickoff. Jaden Hines, Higgins, or Ford full PPR. I'm going to go with the guy catching passes all day. And I don't really trust Ford a whole lot, so I would go Higgins myself. I hope that helps, Jaden. I hope that works out. I think Ford didn't get in the end zone last week. I don't think anybody would even be thinking about playing him. And by the way, you might have missed it, Jaden. Part of my hope for Higgins this week is just that it looked like through the second half last week that they were getting things together in Cincinnati and kind of finding a groove and getting into a rhythm with each other and maybe figuring out how to handle working around the limitations of Joe Burrow's injury. And so you hope that continues, and then that could mean success for a guy like Higgins. And it's a good matchup. Tennessee sucks against receivers, so hope they can take advantage of that. Good luck, dude. I hope that works out. Hopefully Ford doesn't go ahead and do the same thing he did to me last week and just, have a big day because he falls into the end zone even though he's not efficient on the ground against a good rushing defense. We are at kickoff. I think some systems let people do any updates, so stick around for a moment while I make sure there's no last-second news items. Oh, by the way, Austin Eckler was ruled out. Just came out like 30 seconds ago. So, anybody planning on playing Austin Eckler, you can't. He's been ruled out. All right. That is it. We're going to be going off to kickoff. Thank you, Forgers and Forgettes, for coming on and asking your questions. I gotta find the stop streaming button. All right. Good luck, everybody. Peace out.